Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
Today I'd like to speak to you guys about why buy in 2017. And for anyone who's interested in what I'm talking about buying, I'm talking about real estate. Mark showed the picture. He's got interest in real estate. By a show of hands, who in this room owns their own home? Okay. And Mark said he's interested in real estate. I'm sure that all of us who consume information have heard different things and have their own knowledge of the real estate market. Just as a background, I do mortgage, so I deal with quite a bit of real estate related things. I write mortgages for folks buying real estate. I work with a ton of real estate agents, and one thing I have realtor partners come to me about when I'm speaking to them as a group, or I'm speaking to prospective buyers as a group, is why now? Why buy now? And so I want to talk to you guys today. I'm going to lump it into a couple reasons why I think it's a good time to buy, and I'll also debunk some of the myths or some of the things I hear out there that maybe some naysayers why they say it's not a good time to buy. And the few things I'm going to talk about are where prices are headed, and I'm going to talk about Sacramento, where rates are headed, and then I'll talk about some of the negative stuff that some people might say is the reason why not to buy now. So those will be the areas I go over. So first and foremost, as a mortgage professional, I get asked all the time, what's going to happen to rates? And like most professionals in most fields, predicting the future is impossible. So I don't pretend to have a crystal ball. All I know is the information that I receive, and be it my profession, I'm taking in more of that than your average person. So I think that I have a fairly good idea of what the respective folks in my profession are saying about where rates will go. Rates have been historically low for 4 or 5 years, so they really only have one way to go, and that is up. All kinds of different factors involved with why rates will go up, economic factors, the presidential campaign affected rates, employment rates, all these things are going to affect rates. And all the folks that I respect that have had good analysis of why things will go one way or another say that we're going to see a slow increase in rates. So why now versus 2018, and I'll just use a year-over-year basis, rates are likely lower now than it would be in January 2018. The second thing, if you've seen any sort of news, a lot of it talks about the growth of Sacramento, the housing market increasing in value in Sacramento. Realtor.com came out with something 3 months ago that I think put Sacramento number 4 in home price appreciation in 2017. Zillow.com did a survey and they put us at number 10. This has to do with job markets, building growth and whatnot, and I go to different real estate type events. It's exciting to live in Sacramento right now. The Farm to Fork movement, the new arena, they're building historic shopping district where the rail yards used to be. They got approved for an MLS stadium, which is being built. It's going to be built in the next 5 years. Kaiser's got a humongous development downtown that they're building, along with tons of commercial condos and developments going on downtown. If anyone has seen the newest video that the Sacramento Economic Council put out, it talks about the vibe in Sacramento, and it's really cool. It's one of those things that reminds you that it's cool to live in Sacramento. It's an exciting place to live. And so, given these factors, I want to show you guys some numbers. I'm a math nerd, and so I think of things in math terms. If we take the average median home in Sacramento County as a whole is somewhere in the 300,000 range, and so I'll use that as a number. And so if you were to buy a house today and you finance $300,000 at a 4.25% interest rate, your principal and interest payment only, this isn't taking into account taxes or insurance, would be $1,475. And taking the assumptions that I talked about with interest rates going up, with house prices One report says 6.8%, one report says 7.1%. Nobody knows, but it's fairly plausible that home prices will go up 7% the next year. So you buy a house today, finance $300,000 at 4.25%, your principal and interest payment is $1,475. That same house goes up 7%, and it costs you $321,000 a year from now. And who knows what's going to happen with rates? Me as a mortgage guy, I'm telling you, I don't know. The guy who's putting out information on it daily doesn't know. None of us know. They've forecasted 3 or 4 federal rate hikes, and who knows? But in the case that rates go up 1%, it's not an out of this world prediction. I know for sure they're not going to go up 3 or 4%. The sky's not falling. But say they go up 1% to 5.25%. That principal and interest payment is $1,772 a month. So as you can see, the same house in January 2017 versus January 2018, if interest rates went up 1% and the house prices increased by 7%, it would be $300 more per month. For somebody buying an entry-level home, so it's an average house, $300 a month is a lot of money. A lot of money. I work with a lot of first-time buyers, and I can tell you that $40, $50 a month is something that's considered when they buy a house. So $300 is huge. So in closing, real quick, because I want to touch on some of the stuff that I've heard, some of the negative stuff around, there's going to be a market collapse. There was 10 years ago. That the housing market always corrects. The one thing I'll tell you is I bought my first house in 2006, so I know just as well as anybody else that things can turn. What happened then will not happen again. There may be some leveling off of the real estate market, but that overinflation of home prices and what happened then was based on mortgage products that were terrible. Where your payment today was $1,200 and it went to $2,700 in 3 years. Those products aren't available. It's harder to get a mortgage, and with good reason. And I'm proud to be part of a mortgage industry today that really does its due diligence, and we don't lend to people that can't afford. And we don't put somebody in a house with a payment they can afford today with a payment that's going to increase in the future. That stuff just doesn't exist. So with that, it's a great time to buy. Thank you.
All right.